Okay, guys, thanks for waiting. So we'll start our session. So thanks for coming down. This is the first welcome session for NTUOSS academic year 1920. Before we start, I'll introduce myself. So my name is Kunal. I'm a year 3 undergrad and I'll be the president for the coming year. So basically, if you're here, you either saw us during the CCA fair, or if you were a previous member, then thanks for coming back. We love seeing returning members. And if you're new and you have no idea what our club does, or if you want to get involved with our club, then you're in the right place. We'll brief you, we'll take you through everything, and hopefully by the end of the session, you should get a better idea of how you want to interact with our club. So, who are we? So we are one of NTU's largest tech clubs. Our main flagship event is TGIF Hacks. So what TGIF Hacks is, well, you'll see what it is later. We'll have Laksh, our chair, talk about that. We do 3 main events. We have career sharings, we have workshops, and we have industrial visits. So career sharings are typically sessions by companies. We'll have a panel of about 3 to 4 companies. Depending on the theme of the day, we'll have the companies here for you. It'll be like a networking session of sorts. So if you have any questions about how their interviews are, what that company does, how you can intern in their company, any sort of questions you have, you can basically pose it to the panel, and the panel can then clear some doubt in your mind. And that is a networking session, and there will almost always be food. So look out for those. We have workshops, and what TGF Hacks basically is a workshop. So if this is your first time coding, if you have no idea where to start, or if you want to start coding, or if you want to get better at coding like now, then you can attend our workshops. So we'll be having workshops every Friday, and you can look forward to those workshops, and that'll make you a better coder basically. The last thing is industry visits. So we frequently have invitations from really big names like Google, PayPal, Visa, and they'll have industry visits, and that'll typically be catered to tech students. But even if you're not a tech student, you can still attend those visits. So whenever such an event is coming, we'll blast it to you guys. You guys can register, and then you can attend the visit. It'll typically be like a showcase, or it's like a networking session of sorts again. So these are the 3 events we have, which we organize. So above all, where we really love pizzas. I think that's evident. These photos date back 8 years. So it's a tradition that we've carried on. We really like pizzas. And depending on how the semester goes, depending on how your attendance is, we can get pizzas for our events, but not all. So just a disclaimer, we like pizzas. So I'm going to introduce our main committee. There is Shiv, who's going to be our vice president. Can you wave? There he is. That's Shiv. There is Mangyang, who is our business, who's our Hongen Sec, sorry. We have Chawei, who's our treasurer, Nicholas, our logistics director, Anusha, our business director, Brendan, who handles publicity. Brendan, can you wave? Yeah, so if you see really nice posters, or if you are actually interested in publicity subcom, he's the guy to reach out to. He designs really nice posters for us. And we are currently on the lookout for a welfare director. More details on that later. So in terms of event committees, there are 3. There is TGIF Hacks, which I mentioned before. The chair is Laksh. He's the one who's going to be planning our events for the entire year. We have Yonghao, who is our vice chairperson, and Wilson, who's our tech director. For HackOS, which I'll get into HackOS later, we have Zain, who's our chairperson. We have Simang, Eric, Nasir, and Jay, who are our tech directors. And we have our last committee, which is Hackers for Charity. It's pretty obvious what Hackers for Charity is, but Janak will get into that a bit later. She's the chairperson, and we have Kokfun and Yifong as our tech directors and external liaison. So I'll pass it on to Laksh. He's going to brief you guys about what TGIF Hacks is and what you can expect from us as a committee in the coming year.
Hello everyone, I'm Laksh. I'm a year 2 computer engineering student, and I'm the TGIF Hacks chairperson for this year. So let me just start by telling you guys what TGIF Hacks is. So as Kunal said, it's our flagship event. Every Friday from 6:30 to around 8:30, we hold workshops on various topics. So why should you come for the workshops? Well, there are many things that you won't learn in your classes in NTU. stuff like how to apply deep learning or how to set up your own website with a front end and a back end, or like how to develop your own app and publish it with the Play Store. And these are very crucial skills that you need to learn if you're like looking for an internship or doing your own project or going for a hackathon. So we try to teach you these things. When we were learning these things, we had to spend a lot of time and trial and error to learn these things. So to help save your time and to make it easier for you, we try to condense that into 2-hour workshops so that you can go from somebody who is a beginner to the topic to somebody who knows the basics and knows where to go out from there. So now that I've told you what TGIF Hacks is, let's talk about some of the workshops we'll be having this semester. So if you spend enough time in NTU, you'll realize that data science is a really big thing. And it's very important because you can solve loads of problems with it, and it's the gateway to learning stuff like deep learning and artificial intelligence. So we're doing something new this year. We're having a 3-part data science series. So the first workshop will be next week, and I hope to see you guys down there. The first workshop will be about introduction to data science with pandas. 1 week after that, we'll be having introduction to machine learning. And then I'll get to the third workshop we'll be having a bit later. Next, we have rapid prototyping. So October is around the time when all the big hackathons start happening. And I noticed loads of you were interested in that at the CCFA. So in the rapid prototyping workshop, we'll teach you guys about stuff like how to come up with ideas for projects, how to plan them out, and how to execute them so you can win the next hackathon you go to. Now, if you bring your attention to the surprise Pikachu phase, you'll notice that we will be having a make your own meme generator workshop. I won't go into too many details about that, but I think loads of you guys will show up for that one. And then next, we have game development with Unreal Engine. So it's by Yong Hao, and last year he did a workshop on how to make Mario with Unity, and it was a really fun workshop. So I really recommend coming for this one. And just note that these are the workshops just for the next semester, just for this semester. Next semester, we'll be doing other stuff like graphic design and a 2-part web development series. So stay tuned for that. Now, we aren't the only ones who do these workshops. We also have our friends down from companies to come and give some workshops. We do this for 2 reasons. Firstly, it's so that it's good to know the technologies that are used in actual companies in the real world. So that's the first reason we do these. And second of all, it's a good opportunity for you guys to come down and network with the companies and maybe score an internship. So Shopee will be doing the 3rd part of the data science series, and they'll be showing you how to practically apply the skills you've learned and how they use data science. PayPal will be teaching us about cybersecurity. We have Visa, who teaches about their infrastructure. We have vbits.ai, and they'll be teaching us about computer vision. And we also have Google planned for next semester. Now, just some quick FAQs about TGI Facts. Firstly, do you need to pay anything? No, it's completely free in the spirit of open source. So, yay. Next, how do you register for the workshops? So if you're part of a mailing list, each week you'll get an email with a link to our Eventbrite page for the workshop, and you can just register there and get a ticket. Next, do you need to learn anything before these workshops? We try to keep the workshops beginner friendly, but we have some resources that you might need to download, like libraries or frameworks or datasets, and we'll tell you about that in the mailing list whenever we send the details. And lastly, what happens if you have doubts and you don't understand something? We try to keep the workshops beginner friendly, and our committee will be always going around the lecture theatre. And if you ever have any doubts, you can just raise your hand and ask for any help. And also after the end of the workshops, we'll be having a Q&A session on Pigeonhole. So if you have any more questions, you can ask through that. And lastly, I'll tell you about some of the new things we're trying this semester. So firstly, we will be doing live recordings of all of our workshops on YouTube, and we will be uploading the recordings after the workshop. So if you can't come for the workshop or if you need to revise stuff, you can always go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to it. The link is up there. So please do subscribe. And then we will also be uploading the written tutorials for our workshops on Medium, and the link to the Medium channel is there. So subscribe to that as well. And lastly, all of our code will be on GitHub. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for TGI Facts. I hope you enjoy the workshops we have planned for you in the coming semester. Now I'll give the stage to Zain, and he'll talk about hackers.
Alright, hi guys. My name is Zhiheng. I'm the chairman of Hackers Project, Hackers Committee to be specific. So what does Hackers do? Oftentimes we learn something from a workshop, we learn something from a website like YouTube or other stuff. The best way to improve ourselves is through some real-world project. So we want to do some project that is related to the commercialized values, that are related to some pain and ads in our daily life. So for example, star system. So for example, timetable planning, or this kind of stuff. Hackers start from last year. The purpose of hackers is to allow the participant to share their knowledge and apply their knowledge to real-world project. The reason why you can do this, or the reason, the benefit you can get from the hackers is that you can boost your resume. You can write what kind of project you you did for hackers project. What is the audience count you have? How many value do you generate from your hackers project? So this is not only a lab or only a one semester project stuff. You can organize a team of yours, or you can have some unknown friends, unknown coders. You work together on the same thing and achieve the same goal. The same goal, not goal. Or maybe girls, I'm not sure. One of the hackers leaders from last year achieved a girl. The second thing is you can develop your skills. If it's non-tech skills like hooking up with girls or talking with CAO, SAO, all those kind of shit, you can develop all those kind of skills. You will have the pain point like how to discuss with someone you don't know about, how to discuss of a project in the open source society, how to recognize whether that is a shared question or non-shared question on your GitHub issues. Like, do the pull request, whether that's good or not. Develop these non-tech skills. Also the tech skills. So for example, you can ride in the chain of the newest technology. You want to learn serverless render. You want to learn like newest React with the functional component. You want to learn Flutter. You want to build some awesome stuff from, I don't know, Unity. You want to do cargo competition. You can do all of this kind of stuff with the people unknown. And after one semester or two, you will be a team. You can go for a hackathon. You can go for a startup. I don't know, that basically depends on you. Also, peer mentorship. We believe that not all of us can know everything as a coder. So for example, your friend knows data science, you know, web development, or I don't know anything, so I need to go for a mentor. But the NTU prof is either too busy or too lazy to taught us. So we can go for a peer, like someone who know React, someone who know Angular, someone who's an expert in data science. This is how like we peer up with each other and learn stuff. So the normal process we do hackers. First stage, we need to propose an idea on the hackers event. I will announce the event date later on. And then, you need to propose like through email or Google form. And we will evaluate each project, whether that is valid, whether that is legal, whether that is a tech project. And then on the hackers event, the hackers leader will go for a pitch. So the audience will recognize what kind of hackers project this is and have a guess about what they do and if they want to join. Oh, the third thing is development, not pitch. Like you're sitting on the desk and type on your computer, blah, blah, blah. You do the development stuff. And at the very end, like one semester or two, you'll have a MVP or you will have a real product that you want to advertise to the school or you want to advertise to the Singapore, to the world. You can do the development and then do the demo at the end of the semester. So the audience will recognize your product, and if that is a mobile app, you can advertise to them, see if they want to install it. If that is a website, give the QR code or URL. If that is a data science project, give your result, astonish your audience, all those kind of stuff. So this is some demos of the hackers project we did for last year. This is the website for NTUOSS, and this is basically a hackers project we did last year, which is built on Angular and Firebase. And the second one is called Turtles. What we did is to use the camera picture from the campus and do some data analysis on that, run a model, and like count how many people are there inside this room. And basically we can tell you that if the room is empty or full or half full, this kind of information. So it's quite cool. And this one is on Telegram, if you want to check it out. I'm not sure if it's still online, but that is cool. This one is called Pens, and what they do is they want to replace star system, and you can register your course on that, and then do some planning. The system will do the planning for you, so they will recommend like how many schedule you can do, and give you all the indexes. And they generate a calendar. You can view inside the calendar what kind of course you can get. So that is just 3 of the demos we have for last year. We have other awesome projects as well. So for example, we have Pandas, which is do the data analysis project, which collect the data of the alumni, how do they perform on their salaries, how many do they get when they graduate. Also, Taggers, which is also a data science project. So they have a group of people split into subgroups. They go for Taggle competitions. I don't know the result, but I think they're friends. At the end, they're friends. At the first, they don't know each other. So join hackers. We don't require you to have background technical experience. So don't be afraid if, I don't know anything, can I join hackers? Will I put some burden onto the project leaders? No. But one thing you need to know is that it really depends on the hackers leader whether they want to evaluate on you, whether they want to take you into the project. Because normally a project size is like 5 people or 7 people. It's like you do a hackathon, you cannot have a team of 12 and you do the same project. It's going to be really messy. So it depends on the project leader if they want to split to mini groups or they want to have a huge group of yours. There's no background information. The second thing is you will have the opportunity to learn the latest tools and frameworks. So like the stuff I just told you. And also you have 100 ownership over your own project. Hackers is just providing a platform for you to pitch for ideas, to gather the coder friends, and to demo your project at the end. And during the demo phase, we may ask someone from NTUOSS to evaluate your business value. We may ask for some professors come down to evaluate your research value. But the project itself really depends on owned by the project leader. And if you want to close source, if you want to sell the product to others, we don't mind, and we are quite happy about it because we can do the demo at the next Hackers Welcome event. So join Hackers. We are holding a Hackers Day at week 5, 12 September at NTUOSS Theater, which is the next theater. If you don't know, NTUOSS is right at the corner. Down the road, they have a small little fountain outside. So if you go inside, that is NTUOSS. If you don't know about NTUOSS, they found some startups. So you can get some money if you have the strength and the luck. Yeah, that's basically for hackers. Thank you all. And then I will open the time to Janet about hackers for charity.
First of all, I would like to thank all of you for coming here on a Friday evening. I know it would have been tough. So I'll just keep it very short. Hackers for Charity, the main motive behind Hackers for Charity is basically so that all of us here, we have one thing in common, and that is our passion for tech. And Hackers for Charity is a way that you can give back to the society doing what you're passionate about. Okay, so because this is a fairly new committee, so we provide you the flexibility to choose which kind of projects you want to do, whether they are semester-long project or they are continuous voluntary work. And also because I can understand that everyone has different commitments throughout your semester, so it is totally up to you to decide how much time you want to devote to it. So according to your needs, according to your passion, whether you want to maybe try out a new skill or you want to just go more into depth of what you already know, we decide which project will suit you. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about Hackers for Charity. And if you really feel that this is your passion, then please reach out to me and please apply. We have some committee positions open and you have my contact here. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Okay, nice. So those are our three main initiatives. Hopefully by now you guys should have an inkling as to what your direction is. Whether you want to go the TGIF hacks route and just go for workshops, whether you want to do a bit more with what you've learned, and if you decide in the middle of the year you want to do hackers, that can also be a route. Or if you feel you like Hackers for Charity is something that you want to do, that's also fine. So three main initiatives, your call. Just a word on TGIF hacks. This is actually the first year we're doing a workshop series. So typically we don't do continuous workshops. We have standalone workshops, 2 hours Flutter, 2 hours data science, 2 hours web dev, 2 hours pandas. We do that sort of stuff. But this year is something we're going to do a bit something a bit different. We were thinking to take you guys from an absolute beginner in data science to someone who can do like a fair amount with it. So we're having a 3-part workshop where 2 is internal and 1 is external by Shopee. So that is interesting. We'll see if you guys actually follow through on the workshops, but that is the main plan with it. So nice. So that's our initiative. If you are interested in joining us, we have a few positions open. We have the welfare director position open. If you like bowling and planning bonding activities and barbecues and fun stuff, then we have that position open for you. We'll send out a form for all these positions soon. So that's for XCOM. In event and subcommittees, we have a publicity subcom position open. We have 4 of them open. We have 1 business subcom. We have 1 Hackers for Charity vice chair, and we have 3 Hackers for Charity tech director positions open. So if you guys are interested in joining, we will be sending out a form shortly. You can also reach out to the chairs who are there in the room right now and talk to them a bit more about the position, what the job scope is, what it entails. So that's up to you guys, and we will send a form via email soon. Lastly, so shirt sales. Who doesn't like a nice shirt, right? So we're going to have 2 designs open for this year. They're both limited edition. All our designs are limited edition. So is our committee. So that's the first design and that's the second one. Shirts are $12 a piece. So you can reach out to Nicholas and Joey. Guys, you want to raise your hands? So they will be in that corner with Jess. And if you guys are interested in buying these shirts, you can let them know your information. You can let them know which design you want, if you want 1, 2, or both. And they'll reach out to you with payment and how we can proceed from there. So that's it for our welcome session. you guys can feel free to network. If you have any questions about anything we've talked about or what we do, or if you want to know a bit more, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to anyone in the committee. So yeah, thanks for coming down. We hope to see you next week.